Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, let us discuss about one of the coolest features that was introduced in Java 17, sealed classes. Let us discuss on why we need sealed classes, what are sealed classes, the advantages of using sealed classes, some real-time use cases where actually these classes will be beneficial and how to implement them. Okay, now let us get started. Before jumping into the slides part, let us understand this using a pictorial representation. Let us understand why we need sealed classes. You all know Java supports inheritance. Inheritance is a concept in which one class inherits the properties of other class. Java supports simple and multi-level inheritance. And also you should know in Java it is either full inheritance or no inheritance. First, let us discuss about no inheritance. If I don't want anybody to extend my class, I should use the keyword final. If a class is final, no other class can extend it. For example, the inbuilt classes string and math are final. I can also make my own class final. For example, public final class payment. This means this class cannot be extended. So this is no inheritance. Now let me come to full inheritance. In Java, if you create a class, this class can be extended by any other class. Let me explain this with an example. Assume I have a vehicle class. Under vehicle, I can have relevant subclasses as car, bike, truck. In this case, car is a vehicle, bike is a vehicle, truck is a vehicle. Together with that, I can also have irrelevant classes as any person can do this. Class toy car extends vehicle, class kids scooty extends vehicle, class rectangle extends vehicle. All these are valid definitions, but they are all irrelevant designs as per Java. So, in Java, till now either we have full inheritance or no inheritance at all. The moment I create a class, I am giving the liberty to all the classes to extend it. If I don't want anybody to inherit from my class, I am making it as final. There is no balanced intermediary. To provide a controlled inheritance and to have maintainability, we are going in for sealed classes. In case of sealed classes, they permit what are the subclasses that it can have. So in Java, sealed classes were introduced. The purpose of sealed classes is to provide controlled inheritance. It means the superclass decides what should be its subclass. For example, if I am a supervisor, I decide who are all the people who are going to work under me. Similarly, the moment you create a class, you can decide what are all the subclasses that can come under this particular class. So for that, we will be using the keyword sealed. Now, let us convert this vehicle class into a sealed class. I want to permit only truck, car and bike. None other classes can extend vehicle. So let me convert it into a sealed class. Class sealed vehicle permits. This is mandatory. This is a keyword. This is mandatory. So what can be the subclasses of vehicle? Truck, comma, car, comma, bike. Other classes are irrelevant. If any other class is trying to extend vehicle, you will get a compiler error. So, the three allowed subclasses of vehicle are truck, car and bike. Okay. Is there any criteria for truck, car and bike? Yes. The subclasses should be either final or sealed or non-sealed. So, what exactly it is, we will discuss later. So, I hope it is clear. Sealed classes provide controlled inheritance. If a class is made as a sealed class, Then it decides who are all the subclasses that it wants to have by using the permits keyword. Now let me start it with the slide. So this is the example that we have got. Before sealed classes, when I create a class, any class can extend vehicle, even the irrelevant classes. To avoid this, to have a controlled inheritance, we are going in for sealed classes. Sealed classes restrict the classes that can extend or implement them. This is used for controlled inheritance and better maintainability. A sealed class always chooses its subclasses by using the keyword permits. Okay. What is the syntax for sealed class? Sealed class vehicle permits car, comma bike. So only car and bike can be subclasses of vehicle. What should be the type of car and bike class? The car and bike class, that is, the subclasses of a sealed class can be either sealed or non-sealed or final. You know what is the meaning of final. If I am making my car class as final, it means the inheritance ends there. If I am making my car class as sealed, it means again car class has to decide what are the subclasses that can come under it. But if I am making a car class as a non-sealed class, it means the inheritance ends there. That is, the relationship between vehicle and car ends there. Now a new inheritance starts from car. Any other class can extend car. So that is the one. You also need to understand, similar to sealed classes, we also have sealed interfaces and sealed records. Now let us see some real-time use cases. In a banking application, I want to create a transaction class. The moment I create transaction class, I can have any number of subclasses under it. I want to control it. So I am making this class as a sealed class. It permits only deposit, withdrawal, transfer and legacy transaction. These are the only 4 classes that can extend transaction. Okay. Now in this I have made deposit and withdrawal as final. It means no other class can extend deposit and withdrawal. Next I have transfer. I am making transfer as a sealed class. Meaning to say that transfer can have subclasses, but I choose the subclasses. What are all the subclasses under transfer? Internal transfer and external transfer. These 2 classes can be either final, or if you are having again subcategories, you can make them as sealed classes. I want to stop the inheritance here. So in that scenario, I can go in for a non-sealed class for legacy transaction, extends transaction. The subclasses can be check transaction and manual transaction. While doing an example, you will get an understanding. Let us see one more example. This is for authentication. I have a class authentication which supports only 3 types of authentication: password authentication, OAuth and biometric authentication. None of the other classes can extend authentication. This is for preventing unauthorized ways of authenticating a user. Now let us see the rules of using sealed classes. A sealed class can choose its own subclasses by using permits keyword. Already we have seen that in case of vehicle, vehicle chose only car and bike. In case of transaction, transaction chose deposit, withdrawal, transfer and legacy transaction. Only those classes can behave as subclasses. Then the child class must extend the sealed class. It can be either final, sealed or non-sealed. If it is final, it means no other class can extend it. If it is sealed, it again follows the hierarchy. This particular subclass can choose its own subclasses. If it is non-sealed, the hierarchy ends there and the new hierarchy starts from the subclass. Okay. If a parent sealed class is in a module, the child classes also should be in the same module. If the parent sealed classes are in an unnamed module, the child classes should be in the same package. Whatever we are doing, we are creating package and we are working on that, right? The non-sealed classes can be extended. Let us discuss more about non-sealed classes. Guys, whatever classes we are creating are called as non-sealed classes. It means I am allowing anybody to extend my class. If a class is non-sealed, the parent-child hierarchy ends there. So in our case, we had transaction under which I had legacy transaction. Then I'm making this legacy transaction as non-sealed. It means the hierarchy ends here. It starts a fresh hierarchy. Okay. Non-sealed classes can be extended by other classes. Use the keyword non-sealed to create a non-sealed class. Okay. Similar to sealed classes, we can also have sealed interfaces. Similar to a sealed class, a sealed interface can choose its own implementation class or its own sub-interfaces. Let us see an example. This is for an e-commerce application order status. So order status is an interface. Now it is sealed. This means it has to choose its own implementation class and the sub-interfaces. Here I have got placed, shipped, delivered and cancelled. All these are implementation classes which implement order status. What if I want to have an interface, that is a sub-interface? In that scenario, maybe I can have it as shipped and delivered together as fulfilled status. So I can have public sealed interface order status, permits, fulfilled status, comma placed, comma cancelled. Because shipped and delivered will come under fulfilled status. Likewise, we can do it. Let me show you one more example. This is about payment system. I have an interface payment mode. This is a sealed interface. This means it can choose its own sub-interface and the implementation class. The sub-interface is card payment. The implementation class is UPI. So in case of card payment, again I am making it a seal. This means card payment can choose its own sub-interface or its own implementation class. Card payment is a sub-interface. It extends payment mode and it permits credit card and debit card. This means credit card and debit card are the implementation classes that are allowed for card payment. I am making both of them as final. UPI implements the first one, that is payment mode. So this way you can implement sealed classes and have a controlled inheritance in your application. Similar to sealed classes and interfaces, you can have sealed records. A record cannot extend a normal class, but it can implement an interface. Sealed interface device permits mobile. Mobile is the name of my record. Public record mobile implements device. I have not used any keyword sealed or non-sealed or final. Why? Because record is implicitly final. I don't even have to use the keyword final. Okay. Before jumping into the example, let us summarize this. What are sealed classes? Sealed classes are used for controlled inheritance and better maintainability. If a class is sealed, it allows to choose the subclasses. To create a sealed class, use the keyword sealed and use the keyword permits to add the subclasses. The subclasses of the sealed class can be either final, non-sealed or sealed. If it is final, it cannot be extended. If it is non-sealed, the inheritance between these two ends here. A new inheritance starts now. If the subclass is also sealed, this means the subclass also can choose its own subclasses. Similar to a class, an interface also can be sealed. This means the interface can choose its own subinterface and implementation class. The same rules for classes apply to interfaces also. Meaning to say that if an interface is sealed, then the sub-interfaces or the implementation classes can be either sealed, non-sealed or final. Records also can be sealed. A record cannot extend a class, but it can implement an interface. Records are implicitly final, so you don't have to explicitly add any keyword for a record. This is about sealed classes. Now let us see an example. Let us use the same example that we have seen there. So let me create a new class. The class name is transaction. This is a sealed class. Click finish. Now I need to add the permits keyword followed by the subclasses. Since we have not added it, it is giving me an error. So let me create the subclasses first. Right click, new class. We had withdraw. One more is deposit. Let me copy paste it here. Control C, Control V. Deposit. Control V. Transfer. And we also had legacy transaction. Control V. Legacy transaction. Click finish. Okay, now let me go to the transaction class and let me add the keyword permits. I am going to permit only withdraw and deposit. Withdraw, comma, deposit. Save this. Let me add one method. Show details. So, printing transaction details. Okay. Now let us go to the withdraw class. In the withdraw class, I should extend transaction. Okay. What is mandatory? The moment you extend transaction, which is a sealed class, this withdraw class should be either final or sealed or non-sealed. Let me keep the cursor here. Automatically it will show you the options. Change withdraw to final, sealed or non-sealed. Let me just change it to final class. And whatever method that I am adding here cannot be overridden. Void check balance. Let me add a simple println statement. Now let me go to deposit class. Deposit also let me make it as final and extends transaction. Let me not add any method here. Finally, we will come and modify it. Next is let me go to transfer class. Let me make the transfer class extend transaction. This will give me an error because transfer is not permitted by transaction class. Let me keep the cursor here. Declare transfer as permitted subtype of transaction. Only if you declare that, you can make transfer extend transaction. Now let me declare it. Okay. So the moment I click, automatically it is added as a part of the subclass that comes under transaction. Let me go back to transfer class. This time let us have this as a sealed class. Okay. The moment you add sealed keyword, it is mandatory that you need to use permits keyword. Okay. Internal, comma, external. We have not created these classes. Now we will create it. Means internal transfer or external transfer. Keep the cursor. Create class internal. Now this is going to be a final class because this is a subclass. It has to be either final, sealed or non-sealed. I am making it as final because with that I want to end the hierarchy. Click finish. Similarly, we can do it for external also. So I'll just copy paste it. Control C. Here Control V. External. Okay. My external class is also ready. Now here I have legacy transaction. I want this legacy transaction also to extend transaction. So first I will go to transaction class and I will add it together with permit. Control V. Legacy transaction. Okay. Go here. You need to add the keyword. First extends transaction. Then change this to non-sealed. We have seen sealed, final. Now I am changing this to non-sealed. Since this is non-sealed, let us create subclasses for legacy transaction also. Let me have it as check transaction. So in check transaction, I'll make this as final and it extends a legacy transaction. Similar to check transaction, let me have it as like manual transaction. Okay. Now I hope the flow is clear. Let us check it with the pictorial representation. Add the methods and we will run the application. So my class starts here with transaction. Under transaction I have withdraw, deposit. In this case the hierarchy ends here. Then I have transfer. Transfer is a sealed class. So again it is having two subclasses, that is internal and external. Internal and external are final. The hierarchy ends here also. Then again I have legacy transaction. Under legacy transaction I have two subclasses which are check transaction and manual transaction. Because this is non-seal, the hierarchy ends between transaction and legacy transaction, and a new hierarchy starts from legacy transaction. So this is how it works. Now if you notice, withdraw and deposit are final, so the hierarchy ends here. In case of transfer, you are extending the hierarchy by making it a sealed and deciding on the subclasses. In case of legacy transaction, you are making it as non-sealed, meaning to say that the hierarchy between these two ends and a new hierarchy has started now. Okay. Here again, you can either make it as sealed or non-sealed. We have made it as final. Okay. Now let us add few methods and check it out. Let me go to the super class, that is transaction. Here I am having show details, which is going to be a common method. Now let me add one more method, void process. Let me add a println statement, processing transaction. Now let us override in the implementation classes. To start with, we will go to withdraw. In withdraw already I have added one method. Together with that, let us also override this process. Go to source, override, implement methods, select process, click OK. And let me add a println statement here. Processing withdrawal transaction. Similar to that, we need to add the same method in deposit. I need to override it. Go to source, override, implement methods. You know that, so I am just copying it. Processing deposit transaction. Okay. Now this is done. Again, let me come to transfer. In transfer also, let me override process. Processing transfer. Again, let me add one more method here. Void notify transfer. So transfer balance between accounts. Now I want to override this notify transfer for external and internal. Okay. So go to external, go to source, override, implement methods. I want to override only notify transfer method. Okay. Here I need to add the println statement. Transfer balance between accounts. This is external transfer. Similarly, we will do it for internal transfer also. I'll copy it and add it to internal transfer. Save this. Now I am having legacy transaction. So I can override process here also. Let me give the println statement as legacy transaction. Okay, then void log type, logging details. Okay, I need to override it in manual transaction and also in check transaction. Logging details manually. Okay, and let me come to check transaction. Here I can add it as logging details for check. Okay. Now all set. Let us go to the main class. Now we have completed all the classes. We will again convert few of the classes into abstract. Before that, let us run this. So let me create a main class. Right click, new class, main, select public static void main, click finish. My super class over here is transaction. Transaction is equal to new withdraw transaction dot process, and again for deposit equal to new deposit, and then transaction dot process. Okay. Now next is I want to call the method of transfer. In transfer also we are having it, but transfer is having one more extra method. If I have to call it, I need to downcast it. This notify transfer part. Okay. Now till this, let me run it. Withdrawal transaction and deposit transaction. Now I will do it for transfer. Transaction is equal to new transfer, and then transaction dot process. Okay. Now I want to call the other method, so I need to downcast it. So let me give it as transfer. Transfer is equal to transaction. Transaction is my super class. Transfer is my subclass. Now I need to downcast it here. Transfer. And in the next line, I can call the method transfer dot notify transfer. Okay. What if I want to call the methods of external and internal? Then I can write it as transfer is equal to new external, call the method transfer dot notify transfer. Okay, similarly we can do it for internal also. Okay, now let me run this. So transfer balance between accounts, that is, this is for the transfer class, this is for external, this is for internal. Now again I need to do it for legacy transaction. So it is transaction is equal to new legacy transaction and transaction dot process. Now we need to call the own method, which is log type. So I have to downcast it to legacy transaction. So here let me add legacy transaction. Legacy is equal to transaction. Let me add it and then I will downcast it here. This has to be legacy transaction. Legacy dot log type. Okay, then again legacy is equal to new check transaction and legacy dot log type. Similarly, legacy is equal to new manual transaction, legacy dot log type. And of course I want to print the process also. I can write it over here, legacy dot process. Let me add a println statement here, a dummy println statement in between. Here also a dummy println statement. Okay, now let us see the output first. So it's printing legacy transaction, logging details manually for check, logging details manually. Few things we can do over here. So first is, let me go to transfer. In this case, I don't want to have this as a concrete method. I want to make it as an abstract method. Can a sealed class be abstract? Yes, of course. So abstract, and I will make this as an abstract method. Add abstract keyword. Okay. Now go to the implementation class of this, which is transfer internal and external, right? So go here. We need to implement it. We have done that. In external also we have done that. That's okay. Now let me come to the main class. Can I create an object of transfer? Not possible, right? So I cannot do any of this. I'm just commenting it, and let me comment this also. So here I need to write it as transfer. Transfer is equal to new external, and of course I can call the process also here, dot process. So this method will come from transfer class. Similarly, for legacy transaction also you can do the same thing. You can make this as an abstract class. Let me make this as an abstract method. Okay. Again, there is an error in the main class because we are creating an object of legacy transaction. So this will not work. Let me comment this. I'll also comment this. And now directly I can write. Okay. Let us check. Legacy is equal to new check transaction. Okay. Then using transaction, I want to call the process method. Let me call this here. Okay. And then I want to call the log type. So for that, explicitly I need to downcast it. Legacy is equal to, I can downcast transaction here, because it is already pointing to check transaction. So here it is, superclass reference is equal to subclass object. That's all. Okay. Already the variable is available. That's why it's giving an error. Okay. Now let us run this. So this is for the last one. Check transaction is equal to new check transaction. Transaction dot process. This method is getting called from legacy transaction. What is the flow? First it will go and check in this particular class whether it is available. No, it will go and check in the immediate superclass legacy transaction whether it is available. Yes. So it is printing legacy transaction as the output, and then for the rest of the things are all same. Log type from check transaction, log type from manual transaction. So I hope it is clear. Your sealed class also can be abstract. Can it be final? No. Because when I say sealed, it means I want a hierarchy, but a controlled hierarchy. I will decide what are all the subclasses that I want. It cannot be final. But the subclass of a sealed class can be final. This is all about sealed classes. Sealed classes also can be used together with switch cases. In the upcoming videos, I will explain how to use sealed class together with switch cases. One more important thing is, guys, I have just started with Java full stack coaching. If you are interested to proceed further for Java full stack, if you are looking for a change from production testing or support roles into Java full stack, or if you want to start your career as a Java full stack developer, I have given the details in the description. You can just get in touch with me to get the further details. That's it. Thank you.